What's up, guys? Tonight I want to talk about my pocket survival kit. But before we get into that, I want to say that even though this kit is pretty small, you just can't fit enough shelter in here. You just can't do it. I mean, it's in a pouch, there's a tin inside here, but it just doesn't cover shelter. So, it doesn't really matter what you use. It's going to depend on your region, what your skill level is, what you can afford. And any of these items would do, whether it be the Adventure Metal Kit's bivy bag, a Heat Sheets blanket, the old standby Mylar, or my actual preference, which would be the 3mm contractor's bag. All of these things are great. It doesn't matter which one you use, but for me, it's always going to be the contractor bag, and we'll get back to that at the end. As I said, tonight's going to be my pocket survival kit. This is the smallest one I have. Now, I have had a request for my medium-sized kit. This is what normally rides in my daypack. So Ken, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, buddy. It's not going to be tonight. It is coming. Stay tuned for that. And eventually I'm going to work my way all the way up to the large kit. So it'll be a series of 3 videos, but tonight we're going to start with the pocket kit. Alright, getting to the outside of the pocket survival kit. As you can see, I've got a paracord lanyard on here. This serves 3 purposes. First of all, it's 550 paracord. We all know the value of that in any survival situation. Second of all, it's a lanyard for my kit. It's just wrapped around loosely. As you can see, it's not in any kind of cobra weave, Solomon bar, none of that. I can stick this in a cargo pocket and I can pull it out with a cord, or I can put a carabiner on the end, clip it to a belt loop. There's a reason for its length. It's rather long length. It's 8 feet of paracord. The reason for that, I can nip this in half. Now I have 4 feet, 2 4-foot section of cord, and they're the exact length of my bootlaces on the largest pair of footwear that I have. So, right down to the lanyard, I've put a lot of thought into this. Now you're going to see that this is packed quite tightly. We've got a lot of things in here. Right here, 30 feet of mil-spec accessory cord. This is the same stuff they use on compasses in the military. This is 3 by 32. It's a 150-pound test, 30 feet long. Got a survival straw by Frontier, good for 20 gallons of water purification. Inside here is a poncho, and though it's hard to believe, I actually have 2 nitrile gloves in here. I'm not going to take it out to show you because it was a pain getting them in there, but believe me, poncho and a pair of gloves. Right here, 15 feet of contractor's survey tape wrapped around a small razor blade. This would be great for marking trails. Basic cotton bandana, blaze orange. Open it up. 2 1-liter water bags for water collection. 15 feet of duct tape and some safety pins. This is for gear repairs. And 2 Ranger bands. I've also got an expandable sponge. Alright, this is very flat, packs very nicely, but you hit this with some water and it poofs right up to the normal size sponge. Chapstick with moisturizer and SPF. More of a comfort item, but it fits in the kit, why not carry it? Here's the tin. Now the reason I included a tin here has got nothing to do with boiling water or cooking food. It just gives a little structure to the kit. I can actually fit more things in the nylon pouch without the tin, but the tin protects some of the smaller items, the ones that would actually break if I took a spill. As you can see, it's in a lock sack bag for waterproofness. Now, even though this thing is packed solid, you can see that I can turn it over, no rattles, and the lid won't pop off. I don't have to have a rubber band on there to keep it shut. It stays shut on its own. Got some nice P-Touch labeling on here. Alright. Right off the bat, this is something that I haven't seen anyone else do in their kit. I know a lot of folks will tape a mirror in here, but this is a little different. This is Solus grade reflective tape. Solus stands for Safety of Life at Sea. That's a standard that marine survival equipment has to adhere to by the U.S. Coast Guard. I don't know if this will show up on camera, but this is the same stuff that they put on life vests. It's very reflective. You can use this day or night, and I've left the sticky back on it. I haven't attached it to the lid. So I could apply this to an item of clothing, or using it, cut it up, use it to mark trails, whatever, or just as a signal device. And because I left the backing on, that also serves as a writing surface. I could use it to take notes. Four-power Fresnel lens. 6 MicroPure MP1 waterproof tabs. Water purification tabs, sorry about that. There's a micro signal mirror. This is from CountingCom. Double wrapped. Here's the main reason why my kit doesn't rattle. I have 2 cotton balls in here. Now obviously they could be used for fire starting, but their only real purpose in here is to keep the kit from rattling. Fox 40 micro whistle. Standard butane lighter. I've got a couple items in here. First of all, we have the Sparklight fire starter. There's tinder quicks along with the instructions. And over on this end is a magnesium rod with a flint striker. And here's the striking bar. Mini LED signal light. Got 12 UCO wind and waterproof matches with 2 striking surfaces. A little Victorinox Classic SD pocket knife. Now this doesn't really have a lot of capability, but it's better than nothing. I really like the scissors and the tweezers. That's why this is in my kit. Come back to this item last. Down here in the bottom, got very minimal medical supplies. Alcohol prep pad, a couple band-aids. And here's a unique item. These are labels. These are actual survival kit labels, and they're printed with information. Severe bleeding and shock, ground to air signals, Morse code, medical information, survival fishing, survival priorities. Now we're going to come up to the compass, which requires a little extra explanation. Alright, this is my button compass, and this requires a little special discussion, so to speak. I've included the little micro light in here just to give you an idea of the size. This is the Francis Barker NATO compass. This is the same compass supplied to the SAS and their survival kits. It differs from other compasses as it has no fluid in it. It's got a brass body and a glass lens. You can actually swallow this compass and retrieve it later. It's designed for that. It's one of the best button compasses that you can buy. It's a little pricey. It's not like the normal button compass you find in some of, let's say, the Adventure Medical kits, pocket packs, or whatever. This one goes for $36 on the internet, and it's tough to find. There's only a few places that actually carry this. Now it's not very big, so really this is just going to be for general direction finding, but it's absolutely heavy duty. It's the best compass that you can fit in a small survival kit for its size. I also wanted to make an extra point on this contractor's bag, and one of the reasons why I like it. First of all, by itself, it will fit in a cargo pocket. Not necessarily comfortably, but you can carry this all day in the field. The great thing about it is you can fold up extra items inside it. You can throw in an extra 30 feet of cordage, a little pocket first aid kit, a large lock sack bag, something you could fit the entire contents of your survival kit into, repair items, or an SAS survival saw. Okay, so one of the questions that always comes up with these survival kit videos is, why have a survival kit? And I'll tell you why. It's for peace of mind. Whether I'm going on a 2-day hike or a 2-hour hike, I like to have some basics with me. In the event that something happens, those what ifs, I want to have a few items that are going to make my stay in the woods a little better. And they have to do 3 things. 1, they have to be able to provide me with fire. I need the ability to make fire. That's to maintain my core body temperature. 2, I need to be able to collect water and disinfect it. And 3, my final priority is obviously either rescue or navigation. So using these items combined, I can do those 3 things. Now a lot of folks will say, well, where's your food? Where's your snare wire? You know, your bouillon cubes, your tea bags, your fishing kit. Well, those things are great, and I don't knock anyone for having those, but I don't need them. You can survive easily for 3 days without food. Now, mind you, it won't be comfortable. Your living conditions won't be comfortable, but you can do it. It's called survival. You're surviving. You're not living large like you do at home. So, that's why I've assembled these things, so that, God forbid, if one of those what-ifs comes up, I can survive for at least 72 hours, or possibly longer, with the capabilities I have here. Also, a lot of folks will mention, you need a sewing kit. Well, you know what? If I can't tape it, safety pin it, or lash it, it's just not going to get done. Sewing is a fine motor skill, and that's just not going to do it out there. For me, if I'm under stress, I'm going to do things that are easy, and sewing is not one of those things that's easy. Also, a lot of folks will say, well, how about a button? If you lose a button off your coat, what are you going to do? Well, let's be honest, I don't really wear a lot of clothes that have buttons. Most things that I wear are either pullovers or they have a zipper. So in the event of a zipper failure, I'm just going to either tape it back together or safety pin it. That's just me. If you want to sew your gear back together, that's fine. Rock on with that. But this is what I do. So, feel free to rate, comment, subscribe, make suggestions, but as always, let's keep it respectable, guys. Take care.